There's two stories in the Bible that when you put side by side requires reflection. One of them is the story of Job. Now, Job suffered great affliction, pain, loss, and everything. But the Bible told us before the story even started that he was a righteous man. Righteous man did not sin, yet he went through all of this. God let that happen. But then good for him that eventually he was restored double fold. But then there's another guy in the Bible called Lazarus. Lazarus was poor, he was sick. In fact, he had to be carried, and because he had nothing, and the people who were carrying him probably couldn't help as much, so we can take you to where you can find help, maybe. So we'll take him to the house or the gate of this rich man, whom he expected or hoped that at least the crumbs from the rich man's table would be given to him for food to feed. But guess what? He never got that. The rich man never paid attention to him. We threw a banquet, we put on expensive clothes. His friends will visit, probably those friends will pass Lazarus at the gate and go into the house. They have their parties, they'll eat, they'll leave. Nobody paid attention to Lazarus, and I'm sure Lazarus will be hoping, for how long is this going to go on? For how long am I going to suffer like this? At least if he doesn't get food from the rich man's table, maybe healing should come for him somehow. But guess what? Unlike Job, who later on was restored double for all he lost, Lazarus died in that state. The Bible went on to tell us how, he was at Abraham's bosom after he left this earth, but it just got me thinking. Two righteous men, no sin recorded, because the Bible is trying to show us that these people did not sin. These were states that they had no control over, that they found themselves, and their outcome or how they ended was different. So I'm wondering, because the world is a fallen place, we are walking through the valley of the shadow of death. It's literally the valley of the shadow of death, but we know that God is with us, and sometimes God let these things happen, but we do not have control over how it ends. Sometimes you don't know. I'm sure when it was happening, Job would have thought, how long is this going to last? He might not even be sure if he was even going to be restored. He wasn't even sure if he was going to survive, let alone being restored double fold. And then imagine Lazarus also thinking, for how long? When am I going to be healed? Or when am I going to just get some help or something? They had no control, and they had no idea how the outcome is, but the Bible told us how they both ended. And I'm just wondering, in this world that is full of challenges and tribulation and affliction and so many things, what will be our disposition when we find ourselves in those cases, especially when you don't even know how it will end? You pray. In fact, we're told how Job will literally have conversation with God. He's talking to God and saying, come and sit down and tell me, what is my crime? What did I do? Those sort of things. So it's not like you're not praying, you're outside God. No. But then you are not even sure what the outcome is going to be, what's going to be our disposition in those situations. It's so worthy of reflection that I just thought of it and I'm like, wow. And it just shows us that in anything we find ourselves, it could be so hard, it could be so tough, like people have gone through or people are going